estate, and I also coach agents on how to use kvCore in their everyday business and how to maximize your digital marketing. Because really, when you become a real estate agent, nobody might have told you, but you got to be good at marketing. What I'm going to be doing is, first of all, I want to go as fast as I can through these 10 essentials. The other thing I'm going to do is, if you don't have my DIY guide, I'm going to make sure you get it. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know, if you need more training beyond what I have on YouTube for free and beyond what's in my DIY guide for free, I can tell you what all the different things that we offer at the Sylvia system. The first thing we're going to do, you guys, is talk about this first way to fast start your kvCore. And if you know this already, I'm sorry, but I have to go over it. It's very essential. And it's really to understand what the primary features of kvCore are. Okay, so that's the first thing. The first essential to fast start your kvCore is to know what the heck the thing is. It is number one, and I'm going to quickly review this, and you can feel free to screenshot, take notes, or just wait for the recording. Okay, I'm going to review this. I'm going to show my screen as well on kvCore. So the first thing this is, it's a web IDX. What does that mean? That means all the listings from your MLS are fed in this thing that's called the IDX feed into your kvCore website, so that you can promote the listings and showcase the listings that are on your MLS. Okay, so that's thing one. So people can search for homes, they can, search properties, etc. So let's look at my website. Mine's nothing that great, you guys, because I'm always messing with it, so it's sort of a mess. But let's look at it. All right. So if I go here to check out my website, on mine, I've done some things in my custom navigation so people can easily click on search all listings. And now they're going to find all the most recent listings in 2 MLSs that I'm in on my website. And they can view the details. If they're not registered on my website, right now I'm not registered on my own website as a user, I'm going to be able to look at 2 to 4 pictures before I'm asked to register. But I can check this out, see everything about the property. This is mobile friendly, so people can see this on an app very well. On their phone, on their phone very well. From here, I could save this property. I could ask the agent a question. I could even request a showing. I could set up property search alerts for myself as a consumer. I could even print a flyer for the property. I could share it on social media as a consumer. You might also notice that myself, because this is my website, my information is listed here as my agent, but you'll also notice it shows who the listing brokerage is. And sometimes it shows who the listing agent is. Why? Because those are the rules for the National Association of Realtors that will be enforced by September 1st. So get over it. All right. I'm saying get over it because a lot of people complain about it. All right. But it's actually because agents were complaining that other people were promoting their properties. And so then NAR's like, okay, well, we'll just make sure on people's IDX feeds, it has to say who the listing agent is too. So if you were the person that were complaining somebody else was promoting your properties, you did this to yourself. These are the rules we have to follow now. Okay, so just go with it. All right, so anyway, as a consumer, if I start clicking through here and I'm not registered on this person's website, this agent is my own website, it's going to ask me to register. And I can register with an email address. I can continue with Facebook and log in with Facebook, or continue with Google. I see a lot of questions people ask, like, why isn't the person's name there and their number, like requiring this? Because kvCore is going to validate that person's name based on their email address and or phone number that they provide, or when they're logged in with Facebook or Google, they're going to be able to validate that information. Not 100% of the time, but 99% of the time it will get validated. And also think about yourself as a consumer. When you are going in to log in a website, do you feel like typing in your first name, your last name, your phone number, and all this information for somebody when you just want to see a property? kvCore has to make it easy for your consumers to just click, yep, I want to see that. I'm on Facebook right now, boom, and get in there, and then you get the lead. Okay, so don't stress. All right, so that's, people are going to be able to search properties. They're going to be able to filter, do search filters for properties, etc. They can also get their instant home value on your website. This is a brand new valuation page that kvCore came out with about a month ago. It's very nice. It works a lot better than the old one as far as how it looks and the data that is shared. Let me tell you a few things about this page because it's important. And I have a feeling I'm going to be going over in time, FYI, because I'm already talking way more than I expected to, but whatever. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put in my address here and hit next. Now I'm already logged in, so it knows me. So it's just saying verify the information, and then I could submit to see my valuation. So this is, as a consumer, this is what I would see on the agent's page. I would see the agent's information here and the address and these AVMs. So what these other automated systems are saying that this house is worth. And it gives you sort of a map, and it gives you related properties, and it even shows buyer interest, based online interest, buyers interested in this area. And even buyers inside our CRMs that might be interested in this property. So it's quite nice. And what's even cooler is if I go into an agent's site in California and I'm in Michigan, I'll still get this same information. It just won't go, it just kind of ends here at the map though. It doesn't show related properties and buyer interest, but everything else it shows, which is kind of cool. The other thing about it that you need to know is if somebody goes to the instant home value page and they just put in their address and then they don't feel like submitting their information about with their email address and such in order to see the value, you're not going to get the lead. You'll still get the address though. And that is still an excellent lead, because now you know somebody at that address or around that address or a relative at that address is interested in possibly selling their home, and you can mail them things, you could door knock them, and it's still a good lead. So that's the Web IDX. You can also, there's customized widgets. You can add testimonials. You can have a bio. You can have a blog. There's a blog section. At the footer, this is the MLSs that you belong to and the quote unquote offices that you belong to. And you can also add custom pages, etc. So that's just a quick lay of the land. As far as social media links, they just show here based on your agent profile. So that's the first thing about the website that you need to know. Now it's also a smart CRM. So on the back end, you have a smart CRM. And so let's go into Rick's here. And so he has added some contacts. And from here, he can see okay, so he got looks like he got looking for Century Houses. I don't know how when he added this, how he did, and that's fine. So he might have added this in a variety of ways. Either he added it manually or he generated a lead, but this is the person's name. He's got their phone number, no email address, which is fine. And I don't have time to go in detail about everything about the contact page, but there's a timeline with all the information where you can set up property alerts, add a campaign for the person, subscribe them to a market report, subscribe them to a listing valuation. You can send a text or send an email from here if they had a real email address. This person doesn't. I can log a call from here. I can add a note on the timeline. I can do other actions like add a task for myself, etc. Here, if I want to edit this information, I can go to profile details, edit details, and add more contact information about this person in the back, etc. Okay, so it's your full CRM, and you can do search filters for based on like, okay, I want to find everybody in my sphere right now, or everybody that I've assigned a certain hashtag. Like maybe you have a group of past clients and you've given them the hashtag of past client, and now I can search that group of people based on that category. I assign them using a hashtag. So where do you put the hashtag? You put the hashtags over here. Okay, and you can just come up with it and you put it. Now, when you create a hashtag, you don't create a hashtag with the symbol. Okay, you don't create a hashtag with the symbol, the hashtag symbol. You just type in the name. So if this was past client, I would just type in past client, hit enter, and then ta-da, that tag would be created, and I could add that to whatever contacts met that criteria or that category if I wanted to. I won't do that for right here. All right, so it's your smart CRM, and you can set up campaigns that would automatically go out for different groups of people as well. And we'll get into those essential campaigns in a bit. All right, what else do I need to tell you? Your lead gen platform. So this is where, a lot of people, I've had people contact me and say, oh, I'm going to get rid of Zillow and use kvCore. No. Zillow is a lead source. Okay. Realtor.com is a lead source. Knocking on doors is a lead source. Networking in the community is a lead source. Putting information out on social media and having people contact you or click on links to generate leads on your website, those are lead sources. kvCore is not a lead source in itself. It is a tool where you can import the leads or generate the leads by doing certain activities. And what are those activities? Those are creating squeeze pages or landing pages. Okay. And you have this lead engine area over here and lead engine tools. And the most popular thing to do is to create a squeeze page. I will briefly be going over this at the end, but you can create squeeze pages. What are squeeze pages? They are either a list of properties like all the open houses in this county, or a price range in the zip code. So a list of properties. A single property squeeze page is to promote a specific listing. Okay, a seller squeeze page this is an interesting one, and I will mention it, but seller squeeze page is to promote instant home value for a specific area. But right now, just so you guys know, you don't really, kvCore, since they came out with this new valuation page, the squeeze page doesn't really work anymore. I mean, it works, it brings you to that home valuation page I showed you. But it's not a true squeeze page. And I will get into what a squeeze page is when I present how to do a squeeze page at the end. There's also a market report squeeze page. In addition, there are landing pages you can create. These are a little different. Landing pages are, more flexible. Like you could create a landing page to have people register to an event. You could, like a home buyer seminar, you could create a landing page to offer like a PDF download of a buyer guide. You could, do a variety of different things with a link. You could add video to a landing page if you want to, and you can change the background. You can change what it says here. You can even mandate a phone number on this one. And when they register, number one, they'll come in as a new lead into your system, and they could submit this button, and then it could lead them to another page that you want to allow them to see now. So there's a variety of things you can do with landing pages. In addition, there's this lead drop box over here, where if you have another lead source like listings to leads or realtor.com, where you're getting leads from, a lot of those systems ask for an email address. It's usually called a parsing email address of where do you want your leads to get sent, so you can connect them to your CRM if you're using kvCore as your CRM. So this is the email for me that I use for realtor.com, for example. This is a parsing email. So it's going to say, if you have realtor.com, you're going to say, send my leads to this email address, boom. And now your leads are going to automatically come in. And you also have a Zapier key, a Zillow key, if you want to make sure your Zillow profile, if you claim your Zillow profile, it's free. You don't have to be a Premier agent to claim your Zillow profile. But if you ever have a listing, it's good to have the Zillow key set up on your Zillow profile with kvCore, because if you get a listing and somebody does direct message you as the listing agent on Zillow, that lead comes right into your kvCore. So there's just a little taste. about the lead gen platform. It's also your marketing platform. What do I mean by that? This is where you've got campaign options. So over here in the marketing and all marketing, we go to smart campaigns, and this is great because Rick doesn't have any. I'm going to show you how to add some essential campaigns easily, and even how to edit them if you really, really want to, if I have time. So you can add campaigns. What does this mean? What are campaigns? Campaigns are emails, texts, tasks for you, the agent, that will be automatically set up and automatically happen. Obviously, the tasks to you, the agent, aren't going to automatically happen unless you do them when you're prompted to. But otherwise, these are the things that are automatically going to happen after the campaign is added or triggered. Okay, so that's what a campaign is. A lot of people get confused thinking a campaign is like an advertising campaign. That's not what a campaign is in kvCore. Campaign is those actions that happen after you get the lead. Okay, there's other things about the marketing. You can schedule a mass email. If you create a beautiful email template and send out a mass email newsletter, you totally can do that. So you can manage your hashtags. There's all kinds of things, and I just don't have time to go over everything right now because there's so much to learn and to talk about. I just don't have time right now. And finally, there is a kvCore mobile app. So you want that. That's your CRM right on your phone. So you're going to want to go find the kvCore mobile app from Inside Real Estate on your Google Play or your Apple Store. Download it, log into it just like you would kvCore, your username and password, and then you can push notifications. So right from there, when you go into the app, you'll be able to reply to text, you'll be able to reply to emails, you'll be able to set up people on searches, and there's even a little dialer on the kvCore mobile app that you can dial by hashtag, you can dial by people, you can dial by hot leads, etc. All right, we covered number one. That is just like the quick and dirty version of some key features of kvCore. You really want to consider 5 things as you're getting started with kvCore. All right. And so you're like, wait a minute, I haven't even fast started my kvCore yet. Well, these are things you really have to understand, I think, before you can really grasp things. So the first thing I want to talk about, is multiple MLSs. So if you're at eXp Realty, not everyone I work with is from eXp, but most of you are. So I want to address you first. At eXp Realty, until February of 2022, we could only, as a solo agent with one kvCore account, we could only have one MLS that we were a member of attached to our kvCore domain. And so if we had multiple MLSs, we actually had to get what's called the eXp templated website add-on, like an add-on feature in kvCore marketplace, where we paid $14 a month to have another website to promote those other listings from the additional MLS. But as of February 2022, you can now commingle, and any MLS you're a member of, you can have added to your kvCore. One domain. You don't have to have multiple domains. And so anyway, I have done that. I've commingled now, and you can see it's listed here in my footer. These are the 2 MLSs I'm a member of. And because I'm a member of these 2 MLSs, it shows 2 different offices essentially. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay. If you are on a team and have the team platform core team add-on, you can have at least 3 MLSs added to one domain, as long as you, the team leader, are on there. And I think you can even have more. I don't know that there's a limit anymore. There used to be a limit, but then now there's not. Okay. Teams. So I did mention the core team add-on. So if you're a team leader, you can get what's called the core team add-on. It's $3.99 a month extra from kvCore as an eXp agent. I think if you are a member of a different brokerage, I think, and your brokerage is giving you kvCore, I think it's the same price, but it's $3.99. And what you could be able to do is you have a team website domain and then the child site. So you as the team leader have your own website. Each of your team members have their own kvCore website, but you have a one main team one. You can generate leads on that team website, and you can also round robin leads to other people in a more easy way, and track people if you're into that. But no matter what, you can really brand yourself how you want to. You can brand your website as a team website, even if you don't have the core team add-on. What I mean by that is, I mean, it doesn't matter if I want to say, I have myself here as a team leader and the team information here. I mean, you can do however you want. Okay, that's the beauty of it. So this one's important, branding and domains. When you are at your brokerage and you opt in for kvCore so you can use what your brokerage is giving you as an example, they're going to assign you a domain. So for example, I was assigned sylviadana.exprealty.com. That is my URL for my kvCore domain. You can accept that and use that and promote that website name. The other option is to forward your domain. So for example, in my own website, not for kvCore though, I have this one domain, kvcorequeen.com. And if you type that in, and hit enter, it's actually just forwarding to my true domain, which is the sylviasystem.mykajabi.com. So I can promote kvcorequeen.com and people can type that in, but they're going to just end up on this domain, and the true domain then will still show. So I can forward it. And that's probably the easiest, cheapest way to brand your website. I recommend if you do forward, you do not forward with masking, no masking. A variety of reasons for that, so just trust me. And then finally, you could do what's called the vanity domain. A vanity domain is where you actually have changed your kvCore domain to be this branded domain. So if you went to GoDaddy.com and purchased Grand Rapids Real Estate.com, and you were able to get that domain and you wanted to brand yourself that way, you could have your actual domain be that true domain. So you change the kvCore domain completely and not use the one that was assigned to you. Okay. And how you would do that is you'd purchase the domain, you'd go to the marketplace and purchase it. It's like $11 a month to have that. I personally don't think it's necessary. I think if you're going to have a true domain and you're going to brand yourself with your domain, you should do a WordPress website. So I have sylviadana.com. This is my WordPress website. This is how I brand myself. Everybody comes here, and when somebody wants to search homes, they're going to click on this and it's going to take them to my kvCore website. So they're going to come here directly from my branded website. And that's the way that I prefer to do it, but you can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know ahead of time what your branding is going to be before you super duper get into promoting your website. Social media setup. A lot of people ask me, what social media should I set up? Or do I have to have my social media set up before I really set up my kvCore? No, you don't have to have it set up before. You just have to understand that if you're going to be successful with online lead generating, like you don't have to use kvCore just for online lead generating. In fact, it can just be your CRM and your website that you share with clients and leave it at that. But if you want to generate leads online, you have to have a strong social media presence. You've got to have a Facebook business page. You're definitely going to want to have a Google My Business page. Those are the top two that you're going to want to have for a strong online presence. The next, it would be Instagram and LinkedIn. So as far as social media, if you want to be strong, have a strong presence online, you're going to want that. I do have some classes I'm going to go over at the end, free classes for you about how to do some of this stuff and set up, have the strongest social media presence that you can. So a lot of people say, well, I've got my kvCore set up, but I'm not getting any leads. That's telling me two things. One, they probably have a weak social media presence and a weak digital marketing presence. And two, they're not creating squeeze pages and posting links and sharing links and doing any kind of push at all. They're just like kind of waiting for leads to drop from the sky, and then those leads to call them up and say, I want you to work with me. That's not how life is. Okay. And then finally, the SMART number. The SMART number, I'm going to try to talk about this as clearly as I can. And I'll be addressing it later when I talk about behavior alerts. But the SMART number, I go to Rick's website. This number here shows me what SMART number he is using. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if he goes into his smart CRM and he calls from the smart CRM, the computer dashboard version, and goes into a lead contact and clicks call and actually calls from here, what's going to happen is his cell phone will be called, and then kvCore will attempt to connect to the call, but then caller ID will show that smart number. Okay. In addition, whenever kvCore sends out text messages from campaigns or from behavior alerts, it comes from the smart number. Why do you need to know this? Because it could be a shared number unless you're paying for your own. So let's find out if Rick is using a shared phone number. I'm going to click on phone here. And yes, the entity that owns this smart number is his Ontario eXp Realty office. Okay, that is a shared number. So every other agent who is in this quote unquote office is sharing this number. And what does that mean? That means if somebody decides to call the phone number, it could get round robin to a different agent. Okay, so just know that. So I can click on this and see all the office members who have this access to that number too. So that means if one of your leads gets a text message from your smart number and they decide to call it instead of just reply back to the text, it could go to Victor or Sid or Glenn and not you. All right. So you just need to know that. And how can you solve that? Well, if you plan on using kvCore at a high level, I do recommend the add-on of your own personal smart number so that you don't have to worry about it. Now, I will tell you, I lived for 2 years using kvCore at a very high level before I finally caved in and got my own personal smart number. And I'm still here to tell you about it. So, you know, if $27 a month is an expense you do not want to take on right now, don't get it and you will live. And then if you decide I am using kvCore at a high level, then that would be the first add-on I recommend. And so how would you do that? You go to Marketplace and you go, oh, they changed some stuff in here. Ugh. Okay, you go to smart number and you can purchase your own smart number. Now, can this be any number you choose? You can choose your area code. It's not going to be your Google Voice number. It's not going to be your cell phone. It's going to be your website phone number. Okay. So, and then I talked about the vanity domain. That's where you get the vanity domain add-on if you want those things. All right. I see a couple chats. Okay, is there a way to get 2 smart numbers? You know, I think there is a way to get 2 smart numbers. I'm not for sure how it works, but what you can do, if you have a question like that, you can go into the chat here. So I'm in the back end in Rick's chat here, and I can go to send them a message and then ask that question, like, can I get 2 smart numbers? So, because I'm not for sure. I think you can. I'm pretty sure. And then finally, I just want to mention for number 3, the prerequisites. Some people have never opted in for their kvCore. And I just want to show you, if you're at eXp Realty, how to do that. So if you're at a different brokerage, I don't know what your process is at your brokerage to make sure you get your own kvCore account. I just know it at eXp. So if I go to expenterprise.com, and if I'm a new agent who's joined eXp and I go in, once I've got my enterprise account set up, I can log into it and go over here to optional services and click on kvCore and sign up for it. So, and then and you're not going to, it's just free with our brokerage. And then within 10 days, you're supposed to get your 7 to 10 days, you're supposed to get your username and password credentials emailed to you. If you're, didn't get that, just go into eXp tech support and say, hey, I signed up for this. What's up? And then they will tell you what's up. Okay. And then you'll have your username and password so you can log in and start doing stuff. Okay. So that's thing 1. You got to opt in for it. So I come across a lot of agents and you're like, where's my website? Or do I have a website? And kvCore, they don't know, but you have to start somewhere and then figure out what your URL is. Like, what is my domain? What is my URL for my kvCore? So if I look at Rick's back here, that's his smart number. That's the email address associated with his kvCore account. And look, that's his URL. That's what his domain is that has been assigned to him. Ta-da! Okay. All right, so that's that. And then I do recommend you set up a Facebook business page if you haven't already. And again, in my DIY guide that I'm going to be sharing with everybody at the end, I have a little class on how to leverage kvCore on Facebook. Number 4, we talked about 1, 2, and 3, kind of like the beginning stuff. And now the next part is what to know about your agent profile. All right, and let's go to Rick's really quick. I'm going to go to his profile and his back end. And the first thing that you'll notice is he put in his name here and like his title. You could also add a tagline here. Like if people have a tagline, I like to put like a little space and like do a little separator symbol, and then, you know, whatever the beautiful tagline is, you could add, or team leader, or whatever your little heart desires. If you're a couple, if you have a domestic team, maybe you're a partner team or domestic team, you know, you could have both your names here. Like, so if it's Rick and Susie Mooney, I don't know, you know, something like, you could do that. This MLS ID spot, look at this. This is where you're going to put your username. Typically, your username you use to log in to your MLS. Usually, that's what usually your MLS ID is. And why does that matter? Well, let's see if I can find Tracy. So this is another agent I could think of out of the top of my head that I just saw had her own listings. Let me go to her main website here. So this is Tracy Abston. Okay, so here on your websites, you guys, typically it'll say search here. But when we do setups for people, we change it to our listings, because when you click on that, it's going to show either all your agency's listings, or if you have your own listings, it's going to show your listings. So when I click on this, it just shows Tracy's listing because she has 4 of her own listings right now. And how does kvCore know that these are her listings? Because her MLS ID. Because her MLS ID is correctly placed in this spot. Now, if you're a member of more than one MLS, you can add the additional MLS ID there, separated just by a comma, no spaces. So it gives you an example here. Okay, so that's the important thing you need to understand. Next, your NERDS number. If you're a member of NAR, you could put your NERDS number there, but there's no point because it doesn't show anywhere at all. Okay. Now I find this interesting, and I'm not sure, maybe it has something to do with you being in Canada. Usually for this vendor ID, it'll show like an ID there. Don't mess with that. It has nothing to do with you, and I don't even know why you can see that or edit it, but you could, but just leave it alone. All right. Usually it has something to do with, it's just something kvCore puts in there and that you don't need to know about. All right. Next, the contact info. You do in the cell phone area want to put your cell phone listed here. And when Rick checked this box, this is the phone number that's going to show on his website. Anyway, all right. It's the craziest thing I see sometimes what people do. Okay. Okay. Next, the other thing I want to talk about this number. Sometimes I'll see people put like all 3 different kinds of numbers here and then check all the boxes, but it's only the first box that's checked is going to be the one that shows. You can only show one phone number at a time. All right. So he's got his cell phone checked. On my kvCore, I have my cell phone number in there, but I don't have any of the boxes checked. Why? Because I have my own personal smart number. And so by default, when no boxes are checked, my own personal smart number will be the one that shows on the website. Where do you find the MLS ID? So somebody asked, how do you know what your MLS ID is? If you don't know what your MLS ID is, then reach out to your MLS admin tech support or your board or your association and ask them say that you need your MLS ID that would be used to sync your IDX website. Okay, and they will know what you mean. So that's what's going to go in there. Okay, this is important. So by default, what will be in the email section is whatever email is associated with your kvCore account. If you want to prevent your emails that get sent out from kvCore from going to spam, like you want to, do whatever you can do to ensure your email that you're sending from kvCore does not end up in people's spam, then you definitely want to do a couple things. First thing, put a from email in here. Okay. Next, make sure it's not your eXp Realty email address, or from your brokerage if it's a forwarded email address. What do I mean by that? Well, at eXp Realty, this email address is really just a forwarding email. It's an alias. So when you log in to see your email for your eXp Realty email, you're actually just logging into your regular email. Maybe you have a Gmail account, maybe you have an Outlook account or a Hotmail account, and that's what you're using as your business email, and everything's getting forwarded to that. You don't actually have a true inbox for this email address. And so to help your emails that come from your from your kvCore and your smart CRM, if you want to prevent your emails from going to spam, you want to put a true email address here with a true inbox. All right. So if you have a Gmail account that you're using as your business email, put it in there. Okay. My recommendation is a little bit more intense, and that is to actually create an email address that's only for kvCore only, like a Gmail address, especially. That you would use only for your kvCore account only, and absolutely nothing else. It wouldn't be shared with anybody. And I have a training on that I will share at the end. I don't have time to talk about it here, but the biggest part of this is make sure the from email is not a forwarded alias type email. All right. That it has a true inbox that you log into. All right. And then put a from name. So Rick should put his name here, Rick Mooney, so that it shows the emails from Rick Mooney. Ta-da. All right. It's going to show your website. When you put personal website here, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't show anywhere. There's no point. And then this one, lenders. I have in my DIY guide, I have training on how to add a lender, whether you're eXp or any other brokerage, doesn't matter. You're going to request from your brokerage to add the lender, and that lender is going to get account login credentials to their own CRM, just like we have. And once they set that up and set up their bio and their picture and their pre-approval link, then you can add them as your primary lender. Now you'll notice when I click on lender here for Rick, there's a lot of other lenders here added. That's because people in his quote unquote office, this eXp Realty Brokerage Ontario, have requested that these lenders be added. And he could choose one of these to be his primary lender if he had that conversation with them. Or he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to choose one at all. But what does this mean? Well, let's look on my website. If I click on get pre-approved here, this is my lender that's associated with as my primary lender. So now his little picture here, his information's here, his pre-approval link is here, and his bio is here, and somebody can ask him a question. He's going to get this information. And in addition, because he's added as my primary lender on the agent profile, any new leads I get will automatically be assigned to him, and he'll be able to see that information unless I hide it from him or assign it to a different lender. But you can only have one primary at a time added, but I could change this around. So you don't have to have it, but if you do, that's what happens. I highly recommend Rick add a bio here. I don't care if it's 2 sentences or 5 paragraphs, but have a bio. So where does that show? So for me, I don't have much of a bio, to be quite honest. I need to really do some more things with my bio, but at least I have one here. And it shows up in a variety of places. That's one reason you want it. So like, for example, on my blog page, I think, so on all my blog pages, it shows me, and then it has my little bio there as an example. So you want a bio. It's also on your agent profile page, your bio. Okay. Your profile page also has like the contact me page, all the information, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Next. What else was saying? Oh, what else about the agent profile do I need to go over? Signature, put his signature in here. It doesn't have to be fancy. Rick could just put his first and last name, his title, his phone number, his email, his website, and you can link it. So for example, if he wanted to put his website, let's see if I go to his website, I could just copy this, copy this link up here, and I'm going to go to his kvCore, and I'm going to put here, let's pretend this is his phone number because I don't know it by heart and I don't have time to look at it. So that's his phone number. Okay. And then visit my website. I could write visit my website, and then I could select this here and put the link and then paste the link right here like so. Boop. I could create a signature in mysignature.io or YStamp or kind of signature service like that, and then paste it in here. It's pretty simple. And then make sure this little box is checked, or this toggle's checked that says include signature on all outgoing email. Okay. And then you'll notice down here, it's got all this place for credentials. It means absolutely nothing. It doesn't show anywhere, even says it. The items below will not be displayed on your website. They're for information only. For whose information? Why does this matter? It's a waste of your time. Don't touch it. It's for no reason. All right. That's the gist of it. There's some other little things you can mess with settings. It doesn't matter right now though. Okay. That's what you need to know. That's the most important about the agent profile. No, the lender does not need to pay anybody to be in here. And yes, you can add as many lenders as you want, Bruce. You just can only have one primary at a time. Yeah, Jessica, I check email for notifications. Yes. And okay, good. You guys are doing great. We're already at number 5, but next is this fun thing, SEO pages and keywords. I like it. Let me show you what these pages are. I'm gonna go to my website, and at the bottom here, it shows areas we cover. Don't worry about this. No one looks at this, but it's here for your SEO, search engine optimization. And I'm going to show you what these pages do and how they look. But whenever you can add zip codes, and you can add like townships, you can add cities. I recommend you just stick to zip codes and cities. And you'll notice it starts with the numbers first. A lot of agents complain they don't want it to show zip codes first. Get over it. Okay, so nobody cares. You guys think that consumers are so interested in everything about your website, and they're just not. Okay, your goal is to get found online and get people to register on your website and get some leads, and then you want to talk to them. Okay, all right. So, but anyway, let's look at one of these pages. So I'm going to go Canadian Lakes is an area I serve in the kind of a little north of me, but it's a cool area. So, so it'll show you the most popular listing right now. It'll show you the most expensive listing in that area right now, and the least expensive listing in the area right now, which I think is great if you want a great idea, for what listings to promote. I love that. Now this is a link here. I could actually take this link and promote that link and say, hey guys, check out the most popular, most expensive, and most least expensive home on the market today in Canadian Lakes. I could do that, or I could say, oh, I want to take this most popular listing, create a squeeze page promoting this property. And, that gives me good ideas. It also gives you kind of like a little market health report, sort of. And it's nice. There's also going to be any townships or neighborhoods associated with it at the bottom, linked at the bottom. And so that's what these pages are. Now, when we do people's setups for them, we add these as sort of market reports at the top. So we ask agents we work with their top 10 cities, top 10 zip codes, so that they're linked here as a drop down. This is something you can do in custom navigation. And now it brings them to the consumer to this page here. Again, most popular, most expensive, least expensive. I really like these pages. These are not lead generating in themselves until somebody clicks on something, a property to look at. And then I'm logged in on Tracy's site because I was working in her site the other day, just checking it out. And as I would scroll through that, I was asked to register on her website. And you'll notice I'm already registered on her website as a consumer. And I can click on this and I can see like any saved searches I created. I could create new saved searches. I could stop listing alerts from being sent to me as a consumer. I could totally unsubscribe from hearing from her right now if I wanted to, or I can log out. I could just log out right now. So let's talk about how you're going to add these and why. Okay, so you want to add them because let's look at Rick's here really quick. I'm going to look at his website. I'm going to scroll down. Maybe he added those. Did you add these, Rick? Yes. Okay. So he did. He is a good boy and he added them. Okay. So there's going to be a variety of people. It's going to be some people, nothing will show here. It'll be some people that every city from your MLS shows there, but really nothing is there until you actually add them. And so I'm going to show you where you're going to add those. And why you want to add them is for search engine optimization. You want to get found online, and this is one way to help you do that. So I'm going to go here to Web IDX and website content, because this is where I'm going to be adding my SEO pages. So I'm going to go here to service areas and SEO, and I'm going to add. Now, you'll notice Rick doesn't have any keywords, and that's something he's going to want to do. Rick, let's give me either like a postal code, like a 6-digit postal code, or another city to add here. Tell me what I can add, just so I can do a demonstration here. So I'm gonna go here to add, so I can search what I've added already, and I can go here to add new ones. Elliott Lake. So notice when I start typing in Elliott, it says Elliott Lake area, Elliott Lake neighborhood, and Elliott Lake city. Stick to where it says city, okay? Because you're gonna get the best data that way. All right. And so I just added that. There it is. And now you can do keywords. So for example, I'm going to find some that we use. These are the keywords we use for our setups. So I'm just going to grab this. And so now I'm going to go here to this keywords and separate the comments and just paste. And then I got to save. Okay. And now, Rick can come back in here and he can add all these. That way, if somebody's typing in homes for sale in Elliott Lake, he'll be more likely to come up because now the keywords are there. Now, you can also get a little fancy with this. See this page text or HTML thing? I'm just going to show you what that is because I've seen some agents go crazy with this. All right, I'm not one of them, but I've seen some people do it. What is this? Well, now that I've saved it, Elliott Lake, there it is. This one shows that the most popular house and the most expensive house are one and the same. That's nice to know that I could still move to Canada for a cheap price. Okay. All right. Anyway, there's not a ton of data on this Elliott Lake one, but it's okay. It's fine. But let's say you wanted to add more stuff, like treat this like a true neighborhood page, and you wanted to add like content, like a lot of text. Maybe you wrote like a couple paragraphs about the area, and you wanted it to be on this page. You wanted it to put a video here. You can. How would you do that? I'm just going to quick show you. And again, I've seen agents go crazy with this. And I was going to say, Elliott Lake is an all-around favorite, let's say, all-around favorite. And I wanted to say some other stuff. I had a couple paragraphs to say blah, 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 blah. I could do that. And then I could even go so far as, what if I had like a video I took of that area and I wanted to add it? I could. How would I do that? I'm kind of going a little over the top here, but it's just cool because I want to show you what's possible. You can do a lot of stuff that, I'm just going to grab something really quick just because it's here. Okay, so if you have a video on YouTube, let's say, or Vimeo, and you can get the embed code, I can grab the embed code and I can put it here. Let me just do a ER. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Okay, let's see what it looks like. What kind of mess did I make? But a lot of people have fun with this and they do all kinds of design, add a bunch of content there, which is great if you have a lot to say about that area, when someone's searching for keywords like that, they they, it might come in handy. So there, I wrote this, Elliott Lakes is an all-around favorite. I got my video here. You can see I could do a lot. I could put all my content in here if I wanted to say more about this place and get, treat it more like a community page. All right. So I just want to show you that. If you're into that, I'll delete that for you, Rick, so you don't have that crazy stuff. Okay, so save. All right, so that's SEO pages. I recommend you add at least 10 postal codes or zip codes and 10. Next is number 6, editing basic website settings. So, again, I'm just kind of giving you like a quick setup, how to make your kvCore website functional. All right, so I'm going to go back here to website IDX and website manager. And when I'm looking at Rick's website, he's got this one website. Some of you might show more websites because maybe you have a team add-on, or maybe you have an EXP templated website add-on. So whatever is here, that's the domain that we're editing if you have more than one. And so it'll show here. You want to make sure it's there and click on edit settings, and we can check this out. All right. So starting with the general, what template, just choose Hero. I don't even know if the other one's Foundation still exists, but it's very dated. It looks like a 1995, just don't use it. All right. And then you can do these different homepage widgets. Right now, looks like Rick went back in here and he chose a modern layout. And so what does that look like? So this is what it looks like. These are the widgets. Now, right by default, these widgets will automatically go to his instant home value page. They'll automatically go to a search filter page. This will automatically go to get pre-approved, but he doesn't have a lender added. So it'll just go to kind of nothing. So I tell people, don't have a pre-approval widget there if you don't have a lender added, because otherwise it looks like your website's broken. Because there's no lender added. And then go to his blog. So he doesn't have anything on his blog either. So that widget scenario might not be the one he wants, because there's, it might look like his website's broken. Until he gets those things, I would recommend standard widgets, and it's just like general property types. So anyway, mess with that. You can choose the template theme. What does that mean? It means what color do you want it to be? So his accent color, right now he's got it to be black. So let's see, he's like, well, I want to try a different color. Let's try blue gray and save it and hit refresh. And now, ta-da, it's blue gray. Okay, so he can mess with that to his heart's content. You can also be fancy and do custom color. If you know, like the hex number, you can do that. It always shows the screen by default, by the way, unless you change it. All right. In addition, it will show you background pictures here you can choose from. So like Rick's got them all, or several of them. You can unselect the boxes you don't want to show. And what do these do? These show as they kind of alternate every time the page is refreshed. It alternates. You can add your own background pictures. So like on Tracy's, we added these background pictures based on the style of website she wanted. And every time you refresh it or come back to the page, it'll have a different background. And you can also change the widgets if you're techie. Okay, but otherwise we do it for you if you get her set up. So you can upload your own. And how would you do that? You drag it up here. They should be about 1,600 pixels wide and high quality. They could be your past listing photos. Like that's on my website. I use my past listing photos because I get them professionally done and they're nice pictures. And so they look like my area because they're houses I've sold. And so that's what I add there. You can also add a secondary logo. So like on Tracy's, it's hard to see with her background, because it's thin, but it shows here because it's kind of like a thin logo. But you can add another logo as a secondary logo, like your own team logo or agent logo. Next, there's like a resources page on your website. By default, you can choose to hide that. So if I go to Rick's, he's got this resources page. If I click on it, it just goes here. I usually hide that for people, but you can leave it there. Millions Mapped, that is an app that is a really cool app, actually, where you can give it to your clients. They can download the app and they can log in, and then you can see what they're doing on the app. But I don't use it because it's too glitchy. And kvCore is not supporting it anymore because they're phasing it out. But you try it and you might like it and it might work fine for you. Does not work for me. It keeps branding to another agent that's not even with EXP but lives in my town. It's a completely different brokerage. It's weird. But anyway, so I don't use it because but honestly, the kvCore, your website is mobile friendly and it works fine that way. I'm not going to go into this too much because I just don't have time. If you see here where it says mandate phone number, don't do that. Why? Because that's going to require everybody who registers on your website to provide a phone number. You're going to just get a lot less leads and a lot of fake phone numbers is all that's going to happen for you. So I just say don't do it, but you know, whatever. Oh, now, Rick, he's done this. He says, require registration after specified property views. I recommend you just leave it on the default. Okay, honestly, if you want leads, leave it on the default because that's going to give you the most. There's this one, prompt registration, do not require visitors registered. Never do that. If you actually want to get some leads from this thing, I would leave it on normal. Okay, just FYI. Website title. So this is good. You know, he put his name and the brokerage and his tagline. And where does this show for him? It's well, EXP Realty Brokerage Ontario overrode this, but it's showing here. If he wants to trick this, so this happens, I think, in Canada, and I think it also happens in California, and I think Virginia, where the office like makes it so you can't change that. And so I think this is the trick. Ready? I'm going to grab this. Let's say he wants that to be his website title. And I'm going to go down to, if I can find it, tagline, website custom tagline under agents. Okay. So I am going to paste this here and see if me pasting this tagline will override what his office is trying to do. Let's just see. I think that should work, but yeah, I'll look at now. Now it works. I did that. Now what I recommend that Rick do instead is see, it already says Rick Mooney here. Already says EXP Realty Brokerage Ontario. What I would recommend Rick do is take this experience and dedication tagline and put it next to Realtor. And then what I would do here is put the areas he serves, like serving, you know, whatever city area it is and surrounding areas. This is what we do for people's website. We put California homes or whatever area, and then put a little separated serving San Diego and surrounding areas. And so that information actually shows, like when you share the website online, it shows that preview, California homes serving San Diego and surrounding areas. It'll show that. Do you see that little pop up there where I'm hovering? That's what will show when you're sharing the website, is that little information that will also show on Google. So think about what you want to show on Google, and that's what you would put there. So that when we're doing setups for people, that's kind of the formula we follow. So anyway, Rick, if you want to change that, that's where you'll do that. Okay. And then in addition, there's the part for the meta title. The meta title, and let's see if I can find it. Here it says homepage meta description. This is where he would say something like, I don't remember, you're in Ontario somewhere, but let's say Elliott Lake was your city, because that was your place. Find homes for sale in Elliott Lake, Ontario, Canada at EXP Realty. That's the kind of like meta title I put. Think about the meta description as how people might search online. So you want to come up. Okay. What else is essential about the website settings I want to share? If you do have your own address, like let's say you have your own office address or your own PO box, you could put this information here and it will show as your secondary address. Or if you don't, but you just want to show your agent location, you could do that. Like you could put agent location, you know, agent location, and then put Elliott Lake as an example. And then hit save. That will work. And where will that show? it will show at the bottom of your footer, it will show as an additional address. So for mine, it says agent location, West Michigan. And I put Grand Rapids, Michigan in the zip code, just so people know that's where I am. I'm not in Troy, Michigan, I'm here. You can change the search labels, what they say, but you can't and you can choose to hide certain things like the resource labels, but you can't change like the order of them. What I do here for the what we are hiring label, I mean eXp Realty, I put join eXp Realty, and then for the hiring link, I put my actual careers page here. So like for Tracy, that's what we did. We did agent, and then it says agent is what is in the drop down here, how we change it. It used to say, I think, other, and then instead of we're hiring, we say join eXp Realty, and then we connect it to the agent's careers website. So you could do the same thing. If you want to change like the custom navigation, if you've created a custom page, you can add that to your navigation, or created a custom category, you could add that to your navigation at the top of your website. I'm trying to think what else is required for me to make sure I share with you. These are the listings that will show on your website if the box is checked. I recommend you show everything. I don't care if you don't do rentals and multifamily, show it, because what if you get a lead, somebody interested in it, then refer it to somebody else, okay? And don't limit what's on your website. That's just my opinion. Now, this part, only show your counties. If you are somebody who does not want to show like every county in your MLS because it's a huge MLS, you could go to your brokerage, like at eXp Realty, for example, and say, I only want, I don't want like specific counties to be searchable on my website. I only want these specific counties to be searchable on my website, and they can fix it in the back end so that from your MLS, only certain counties show. And then if you've done that with your brokerage, then if you select this toggle, then it will work. This doesn't work unless it knows what counties you serve, and only your brokerage can set that up inside the IDX along with your connection to your website. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, use polygons for neighborhoods. No, you don't want that. That will limit how many listings show up on your website. So definitely don't use that toggle. Next, I like the default sort. I like to do days on website, because that way it'll show all the newest listings on your website first. So it shows the freshest listings. If you put it on the most expensive to least expensive, those most expensive listings will always be there. And it's not keeping your website fresh, but do whatever you want. You can do sometimes extra search options here. Like, I don't know if in Canada you can do school district, but some areas you can. Yeah, it looks like it's not doing it. So for some areas, it depends on the MLS, whether or not you could put school districts here. So people could, on your website, people could search by school district. I mean, you can really get into this, but that's what's, I think, essential to note. The don't scrub areas. You do want to scrub the areas. That means, like, in case there's duplicates in the data, kvCore will find it and will scrub it out. If you guys have questions like that, you can always go to support and training and go to support docs, and then go see all articles on kvCore, and then do scrub area, let's say. Oh, here we go. This one, useful with, okay, settings overview. Okay, here it is. Let's see. Don't scrub areas. Okay, so one of the several options available, blah, 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 and it tells you what it is. Okay, there. Okay, I'll put that in the chat too. There's your answer. All right. So, and next is installing essential campaigns. Okay, essential campaigns. So right now, if I go into Rick's marketing and smart campaigns, he doesn't have any campaigns added. And so that means if he gets a lead for a new buyer or a new seller lead, nobody will get a campaign. They're not going to be on campaign. There's no campaigns added. So kvCore actually has some campaigns in here for you to add, and there's some essential ones. Okay, so I'm going to go here to kvCore library, And let me just give you a lay of the land here. Let's say I just type in buyer. I want some buyer campaigns. There's this one buyer nurture campaign. It's a pretty good little campaign. I think another agent shared that and kvCore decided to put it in here. A conversation starter for buyer leads, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to just recommend you do the most simple thing. You want one default buyer campaign. This one is default new lead buyer. It says it's got all these touches, 43 touches, but really it's just a lot of tasks for you, the agent. Okay, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to use this conversion default buyer campaign, 6 touches. I'm going to add it to the library. Once I do that, I've added it to the library. Here it is, but notice it's not active. I'm going to activate it. Now it's an active campaign. Whenever Rick gets a new buyer lead now, they will get this campaign. Let's look at it. I'm going to open it up, and there's a description here that this is a default for any new buyer leads that come to his website, register because they looked at a property, and now they're going to get this campaign. So it's for anybody who is a buyer, meaning they looked at a property and they are registered as a brand new lead on his website. Now they're going to get this campaign. Oops, I got to make sure it's active. It didn't show it was active. So okay, there it's active now. Here you can look and edit here for this first text, and you can see this is the first thing that's going to go out. It says, I wanted to ask the other day after you visited our real estate website, are you actively shopping for a specific type of property or looking for something particular? I mean, if you don't like that, fine, change it. Guess what? You can change it. Now I'm going to add something for Rick right now. I don't like that this doesn't say who the hell he is. Okay, like when somebody texts me, I want to know who are you and what do you want? All right, and so let's kind of personalize this a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing that you can do is you can personalize it and call that person by their first name. So how are you going to do that? You can use what's called a merge tag, and in text messages, the way you call up a merge tag is with the little curly Q bracket. So I'm going to select that and select lead first name. So I'm going to say, hi, lead first name. And I'm going to say it's agent name here. Agent name, agent full name. And I wanted to ask the other day after you visited our real estate website, ask you, I don't, it's not like grammatically correct, so I'm just going to change a little bit so that it makes, it's fine. It's a text message. It's like conversational. So a lot of people like get so upset about some of the things kvCore says, like it doesn't sound like me, or, you know, it's just a text message, you guys. But look, you can change it. Okay, so change it how you want. All right. And then, and then the other thing that you need to know is when kvCore sends out a text for the very first time, whether it's from a campaign or it's from a behavior alert, whenever that happens, the first text message will automatically say, I don't add it on here. Nobody adds it. It's just the kvCore knows this is the first time we've ever texted this person ever from the system. It's going to add, hey, if you don't want to hear from, if you don't want to communicate via text, reply, unsubscribe, or stop. And so if people see that message, then they might reply, unsubscribe, or stop, but they, you know, it has to be in there for compliance stuff. So it's going to go out there. So I like to say who my contact information. So, you know, people may be less likely to unsubscribe then. It's because I'm calling them by their name and I'm saying who I am. And now I'm going to put some information here. Like Rick doesn't have his own smart number. So I want to say, feel free to call or text me at, and I'm going to put his cell phone number here. And how does kvCore know his cell phone? Because he put his cell phone number in that cell phone field on his agent profile. So I'm going to go agent cell phone, boom. And then I'm also going to put the office he's associated with. So I'm going to use another merge tag, and I'm going to say office name. Boop. Now it's going to put eXp Realty Ontario. Okay, there. So now I'm saving that. Now, but notice it has this little note. It says this template cannot be overridden because you're not the owner, but I can add a name of this template and save the new template right inside the campaign, which is beautiful. I'm so glad kvCore finally did that. It used to be so much more difficult. So I'm going to say default buyer text number 1. I'm just going to put alternate, like this is an alternate one that we just created. Okay, I'm gonna name it something. And I can also, if whenever you create your own campaigns or templates, sometimes it's nice to name them. So if you're looking for all the templates you ever created in the template area, you could just type in your name and you'll find them, you know. So now that I named it, now I can save it. And now the new text message I just created is now there with a new name right inside the campaign. So beautiful. So anyway, and you can also add some other things, like you can change the name of it for yourself. Like you want to change the name of this just so you see it show up as a different way here. Nobody else sees that but you. And then if you want to run the text immediately instead of the day after the lead comes in, you know, you can run it within an hour or 2 hours or, you know, 5 days after the lead comes in. So you can change like what day it goes out to, that action happens. So that's a little ditty. Now, what other default campaigns do we want? We also want the default seller campaign. Gotta go to kvCore library. I'm just going to type in conversion here. Default seller, I'm going to add that guy. There's another one you need to add. It's called prospect homeowner, and I'll go over it. Oh, there it is. So let me tell you about these other 2 campaigns super fast, and I'm going to activate them. And activate them. So this default seller campaign, anybody who requests their home valuation on your website will become a new seller lead, and they'll get this campaign. However, once in a blue moon, or actually I should say more 50% of the time, actually seller leads will come in as prospects instead of new leads. Even if there's a good email and good phone number that's valid, they still might come across as a prospect. And so this way you can be sure they're still going to get a campaign, because if they're called a prospect and not a new lead, they're not going to get that new lead campaign for the seller. So this is just like a backup one for those seller leads. So those are the 3 essential campaigns you want to make sure you add from the kvCore library and add to your own library and activate. Now this one's the fun one. Okay, behavior alerts. I see a lot of people like, oh, kvCore sent a message and I didn't even know it sent a message, and I'm so upset. Don't worry about it. Okay, so this is artificial intelligence. kvCore will send your contacts stuff based on what your contacts are doing on your website. So let's talk about behavior alerts. So what the heck are those? So I'm going to go here to marketing, all marketing, and behavior automation. I can also go to behavior automation here. By default, anybody who's marked as an active lead on your website, or they're marked as a new lead, or they're marked as a prospect, or they're marked as a sphere. By default, any of these people could get behavior alerts. What are they? Well, it actually spells it out and tells you exactly what they are if you read that paragraph. But the quick and dirty version is, if any of these people that match the status, because the toggle is blue, they're going to get a message if they do any of the following behaviors. If they haven't been to the website in 2 weeks and come and visit it, they're going to get a message. If they visit this site 5 times in 1 week, they're going to get a message. If they view 5 properties in 1 day, they're going to get a message. If they view 10 properties in the last week, if they view a property 3 times, if they favorite a property, if any of these things happen, they're going to get a message. Now, don't worry, if they do multiple things in 1 day, they're not going to get multiple messages in 1 day. They'll only get the first one. Okay. But what are they going to get? Well, if there's a phone number, then they're going to get a text, and it's going to say this. Okay. If there is a no phone number, then they're going to get an email, and it's going to say this. Do you not like what it says? Well, guess what? You can go in here and edit it. You can edit what this says. So like, what if, for example, what if this lead comes after 2 weeks and hasn't ever visited the website in 2 weeks and comes back and they get this behavior alert? What if this person's never been texted before and they never got that message like, hey, if you don't want to hear from me, you can unsubscribe. And they've never got that before, and they get it this time, and they're going to get this email that just says, hi, Sally, thanks for visiting our site. Are you focused on any specific areas and just the name? What if you want to add a little information, like call me on my cell phone, for example? You can edit it. So feel free to call me on my cell at, and we'll just do agent cell again. And also, I don't like first name because you're not on a first name basis necessarily with this person. You don't know. So I like agent full name personally. Okay, agent full name. And if you even want to be super professional, maybe you could put like your office name as well. But I'm do whatever you want here. And now I can save this. And I can rename this text as well if I want to, but I'm just going to save it. Now I've edited that. So now it says what I want it to say going forward. Okay. So now I would recommend you leave these on. If you leave these on, it works great. Your 99.9% of the people that get these messages from you are going to think you're an on top of it realtor who's checking up on them and watching what they're doing on their website. And they're going to think you're good at customer service when really you might be day drinking at the pool. Okay. So let it happen. Now, if you have somebody who becomes a client, they're not, and you mark them as a client now, and you're working with them actively, and you don't want them to get one of these, don't worry, they're not going to get it if they're marked as a client, or if they're marked as closed, or if you mark them as under contract. So what do I mean by that? If I go into this guy here, and now this new lead becomes a client now, or under contract or closed, that person's not going to get behavior alerts. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Or if it's somebody that, seems nasty, or it's your Aunt Leilani who you talk to every single day already, and you don't want her to get those, then you can just go to more actions and turn off behavior alerts for this one contact. Okay. Number 9, now we're going to get into the fun stuff, and this is going to be the last thing we do. And I'm sorry it's taking so long, but it takes a long time to teach brilliant things. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you how to create a single property squeeze page and promote it on Facebook as an example, because a lot of people are like, how do you get the leads in there? Like, how does that happen? I'm going to show you. And then at the end, I'm going to share my resources for you. So let's do this. I'm going to go into my own kvCore now. I'm going to create a squeeze page. So I'm going to promote a single property. If you want to get a lot of leads, the way that I recommend it is you promote a lot of single property squeeze pages. Okay, that's what I recommend. And you post them in a variety of places. On your Facebook business page, share to groups on Facebook, post on LinkedIn, post on your Google My Business profile, maybe even create an ad, boost a Facebook post, or create an ad on your Google My Business page. So there's a variety of things you might do to get leads. But let's look. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is if I go here to listings, all MLS listings, it's going to show me all the listings in my MLS, and it'll show the most recent uploaded first. If I go here to filters, if everything's working appropriately on with your MLS sync to your kvCore, by the way, and you click on agency listings, now I'll be able to find all the other listings in my brokerage, associated with my brokerage. So you can be, when it comes to promoting other people's listings, you can be pretty safe promoting your brokerage's own listings, because the brokerage owns those listings. So if you're not sure, I just like to make sure I'm never pretending that it's my listing. I always say listing provided by eXp Realty, even if I'm not the agent. But just know what your state laws are, or your province laws, whatever your situation is. I know I'm in Michigan, And the reason I like to live in Michigan and I'll deal with winter is because I can promote any other agents, any other brokerages listing that I want to promote. All I have to do is mention who the listing brokerage is. Okay. So I don't know what your state laws are, and I don't know what your broker's opinion is. I don't care about your broker's opinion, and I don't care about your opinion. I care about what the state laws are, or the province laws. Okay. As far as promoting other people's listings. So just know what those are. But if you have your own listing, great, then promote it. Okay. So you can go here, filters, and I go to my list. I only have one right now, one little listing, but I'll go ahead and do a squeeze page for it. Okay. All right. I'll do a squeeze page for this one just to show you. All right. So let's talk about this. All right. So you guys, this is on the back end. You as an agent on your own kvCore can see this on the back end. Okay. So from the back end, you're going to see who is the listing agent. How do I contact the listing agent? What is their phone number? And what's cool, you guys, when you have a lender, they're going to be able to see this too. And then they can look at other people's listings and stuff. And it helps them. They like knowing they have this information. So you got to kind of show your lender that you've added to your kvCore around their own kvCore account so they can see what they have access to. Because it's nice for them if they get a call from another agent or a buyer that says, I want to know, if I can buy this house, they can easily check out the house and some information about the house on the back end. Anyway, the other thing to know about it, if it's your own listing, I do have these things, I just haven't done it yet. I can enhance my own description for the listing overview here. I can also add a virtual tour link here, an open house link, and my video for the property that will display on the website as well from here. So I could do things to enhance the listing. So check these pages out and see what's there. If I click here, or I should say too, you'll notice it'll show you here if that property is pending or under contract or sold, or not sold. It won't be there if it's sold, but it'll show if it's pending, meaning there's a deal on it and it's not still marketable as a, taking offers or whatever, however you do it in your state, in your area. In mine, if it shows pending, that means, there's a contract on it. Somebody's doing their due diligence and they have a closing date and they're working on this, so that's what pending shows. But this, so not pending. The other thing you can do is you can click here and it's going to take you to the link on your website. So here's the link on my website. Could I share this? Could I copy that link and paste it on Facebook and share it and maybe get a lead? Absolutely. Sure can. When somebody clicks on this link, they will come here. If by default, the way that it works on my website is if they looked at 2 to 3 pictures, it's usually a handful, like 2 to 4 pictures, then it's going to ask them to register my website because I'm not logged in my own website right now at the moment. So now it's asking me to register. Okay. So anyway, so yes, I could generate the lead. But what's beautiful about a squeeze page is a squeeze page gives kvCore directions about what to do with the lead. So that's why you might want to create a squeeze page instead of just sharing this link. What do I mean by directions? Well, I want kvCore to tell me really clearly where I got this lead. I want kvCore to assign a hashtag to that lead so I can categorize that lead easier. And maybe I want to trigger a custom campaign for somebody who looked at the specific property. Okay. So before I go there, before I say this, can anybody tell me, and you can put it in the chat, if I am a looky-loo who registers on your website looking at a property for the first time, and I've added all the campaigns and they're activated, what campaign will this looky-loo automatically get? Yes, the default buyer campaign. Does anybody else know what else is going to happen besides that person getting a campaign? Does anybody else know what happens automatically? Yeah, they might get a text message if they get a campaign from the text. Yes, search. Lavina said it, searches. So they're by default, somebody who looks at a property for the first time on your website, an automatic property alert or search alert is going to be created within 24 to 48 hours. kvCore will create a search alert they're going to find similar properties around the same price range and send it every day to your person, unless you go go back on the back end and edit that search alert to go out, less often, or expand the search criteria or whatever. But that's another thing that's going to happen automatically within 24 to 48 hours on the search alert. And yes, then behavior alerts. If that person does stuff on your website, they're also going to get behavior alerts. Okay. So anyway, let's create a squeeze page now. All right. I'm going to grab a little MLS ID. And I'm going to go here to lead engine and build a squeeze page. Now, do I want a multi-property, single property, seller, squeeze, or market report? Who knows the answer? Yes, single property squeeze page. So the first thing, I'm just going to put the listing ID here. Okay, and then it finds the address and you select it. Next, I can choose a source. So what does this mean? This means when the lead comes in, it will more easily show me right away what source this came from. So I'll be able to easily identify it. I won't have to dig into it. And in my business analytics, it'll show me each of my favorite sources, and it'll show me where I'm getting the most leads from. So I'm going to post this on Facebook. And so I'm going to put FB as my nickname for Facebook. Now, just know you can come up with any source you want. Once you decide Facebook is going to be FB, keep it as FB, because maybe next time if you go in and create another squeeze page with a source of Facebook, then in your business analytics, they'll say, oh, well, you got 20% of your leads from FB, but 10% of your leads came from spelled out Facebook. So you can, don't spell out Facebook one day and don't have Facebook 2 words another day and FB as initials. Pick something that you're always going to use so it stays consistent. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do it, but just know it will create multiple names for something. So it has to be consistent every time. So FB is the nickname. Next, for hashtags. So hashtags are, number one, a way to categorize your leads. And one thing I like to do when I'm categorizing leads is I want to know what listing did they look at. And now you can see it when you dig into that contact leads page, but I just want to see it when the lead comes in. I just want to see it, that hashtag along with the lead, so I know how I got the lead a little more easily, and I can categorize that lead more easily. So for example, I like to put like a little M, but 0N Felch Ave. I'm just giving it the nickname, like I'm giving it an abbreviation, like 123 Main Street. All together, I'm making that a hashtag all together. So now that's a hashtag that when this lead comes in, that hashtag will be added, and I will know, okay, that's somebody who's interested in my listing. And now I can target that group of people. Okay. So what other hashtag do I like to use? Well, this particular listing is in white cloud. And maybe I want to create a hashtag called the white cloud so I can target all of my people who are interested in listings in white cloud. Okay, that hashtag didn't work. Let's try it again. There it goes. All right. So now I know this person's interested in listings in white cloud, because what if I find another listing that I'm going to put up myself in white cloud, or I know of another listing. Now I can target that person. So for example, this particular piece of land, I had sold another piece of land in White Cloud, Michigan, and then I got a call from somebody else that said, I've got a piece of land in White Cloud too. Would you sell mine too? And I didn't know her. She just saw that there was another piece of land there that sold, and she's like, oh, okay, well, she sold that land, maybe she can sell mine. So I got a call. So now the buyers that I got that were interested in that first piece of land, I can start marketing to, because for this piece of property, because I know who they are, because the hashtag was added. So anyway, I might come up with a couple different hashtags to categorize this particular lead. Now, I'm not trying to get too complicated on you, but besides categorizing, I can also trigger a custom campaign. I have a custom campaign called Facebook Buyer, and everybody who gets my setup has this particular custom campaign. But what it is if I'm going to post a single property squeeze page on Facebook, and I get the lead, they're going to get a campaign that says something like about the property viewed on Facebook. Like, so that's going to be the subject line. Hey, so-and-so, I noticed you clicked on a property on Facebook. I'm the agent that posts that link. you know, and is there anything I can do for you? And the same with the text, like, hey, you clicked on it, you followed my link I posted on Facebook, and I'm just curious if you have any questions on about this property. So just kind of create some more familiarity with that lead right away. If I don't have a custom campaign, it's fine, not the end of the world. What are they going to get instead? They're just going to get the default buyer campaign, and that is fine. But I happen to have a custom campaign that I can trigger with a hashtag, so I'm going to use that. So what does this mean by trigger? This means when the lead comes in, and when the lead comes in and kvCore sees Facebook buyer, it's going to be like, oh, I'm going to send the Facebook buyer campaign instead of the new default buyer campaign. Next, this is really important. Property views before registration, put it on immediate. If you actually want leads, just say immediate. This means when people click on the link, they're going to be asked to register immediately. Because otherwise they're going to be able to look at like 4 pictures and the whole entire listing and never register on your website. So that's no fun. I want a lead. So I'm going to put it on immediate, and then I'm going to generate a link. Now, notice I generated 2 links, a short link and a long link. Okay, the long link tells the story of the squeeze page. The short link is a great thing to save because it's short. But let's look, notice the domain looks different. So let's talk about this for a second. I'm going to take that short link. I'm going to paste it up here in this new URL window. And when I do that, it automatically converts to the long link. So the long link tells a story of the squeeze page. What do I mean by story? It's giving kvCore directions about what to do with the lead. So the first part of the story is, this is the domain where the squeeze page was created. The MLS ID, this is the one. This is the MLS ID. The source, FB. So when the lead comes in, it'll categorize this as a source from Facebook. Adding hashtags. What hashtags to add? Well, we're going to add this little address abbreviation. We're going to add white cloud for the city that they're interested in, and Facebook buyer to trigger my custom campaign, and timing 1, meaning immediately. Someone's going to have to immediately register to see this property. So I'm going to take this, that's what the squeeze page is. I'm going to take this long link, and this is what I'm going to promote on Facebook. And we post it and boost it on Facebook. So I'm going to go to my Facebook business page. And it's a real drag. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a real drag because my Facebook business page has been switched to this all new, what do you call it? All new Facebook page experience, it's called, and I hate it. So I'm going to try to show it to you on both ways. I know a lot of you have this new look, so I'll show you on this version, and then I'll try to also show you on the old version of the Facebook business page about how to promote it. But we'll do the best we can here. I hate the new version. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I have to switch into this to manage this page. So I'm going to switch into it. I hate the new Facebook version. I'm trying to like it, but I don't. Okay. I could go in here to ads manager, create ads. Not going to do that. Not going to do that right now. I'm just going to do this simple. And I'm going to paste this link like so. I'm going to wait for it to preview. There it is. And now I'm going to get rid of the gobbledygook link. And now I'm going to say some wonderful things about this listing. Okay. And I'm going to say, just reduced. We just reduced the price on this. Just reduced. Almost 35 acres for sale in White Cloud. And then I'm going to put some emojis to catch people's attention. I'm not going to go crazy with the emojis, but I'm going to go a little crazy because it will catch people's attentions. So I'm going to find a tree here, and stick with me on this because this actually matters. If you just try to post this without doing some work on the actual description, you're not going to have much luck. So I'm just trying. Where's the tree? Come on, little trees. There we go. I'm going to do this tree. Okay. Okay, there we go. So just reduce 35 acres for sale in White Clyde. And now I'm going to do some bullet points. And let's see. So I'm going to use like the little animals for bullet points because I want to have fun with this. Let's see. I'm going to say vacant. Let's see. Where's like a little deer? Oh, here we go. So I'm going to say buildable vacant land, ideal for I'm going to say hunter's paradise. Okay, hunter's paradise. Okay, and then let's do another thing. Let's see. Let's see. Where's a duck? Okay, you guys stick with me. This is important. Okay, you got to do this stuff. Okay, if I can find a little duck. Well, there's a bird. Perfect habitat. Let's say perfect habitat. Or I can't spell habitat. For a variety of. Oops. Okay, and then there's a pond. So I want to mention the pond. See if I can find the pond, or like there's like a little lake thing, like a little splash thing. I'm going to find it. Pond. And then there's some other things, like there's 3 outhouse, or not, like there's like an outhouse and like some hunting blinds. So I'm going to find something that could represent that. Maybe one of these little, that looks like a little hut. Oh, one of these dilapidated buildings. Okay. 3 hunting blinds and an outhouse. And then what else? There's actually like a camper on it. There's like a old camper on it. That doesn't really. Oh, I'll do this. Oh, yeah. Older camper. Older camper included. That's what I'll say. And then I'm going to put the listing price here. Listed for 129. Oops. 29K. And then this is my listing, so I don't have to put listing provided by eXp Realty, but otherwise I would. Contact me. Okay. For private showing, and then I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with that. Good enough. And now I'm going to post it. Now here it is. It's on my business page. Now from here, if I am a member of certain groups, I could share this to certain groups, and I can. I am a member of some groups as my business page. And so I am going to share this to some groups. So I'm going to see if I can share it to that. Oh, I should copy this. Sorry, hang on. Copy this. All right, so I'm going to share it here to a group. I'm going to share it to Montcalm County News. It's not Montcalm County, but whatever. And you just got to know what the group rules are, and abide by those rules. So like West Michigan Lakeshore Home for Sale Rent, perfect. They won't mind if I post this here. So you want to share to some groups and see if you can get some free leads. Okay, by sharing to groups that you're a member of. Maybe you're a member of these groups with your personal page, or maybe you're a member of these groups with your business page. Okay, so I'm going to share to some groups just as an example. All right. I could also share to my personal page if I want to. So how do I do that? Let's see if it even lets me, because it's not going to let me right now because because the reason it's not going to let me right now is because I'm logged in with this new Facebook experience. So I'll come back to that, sharing to your own personal profile in a minute. But from here, I can actually boost right from here. And maybe in the old days, you heard, oh, you shouldn't boost a post. You should create an ad. That's like old school. You can boost it. It works fine. And so I'm going to show you on this new page experience. I'm also going to show you on the old page experience too. So for those of you who want to hang out, if your Facebook looks different than mine, I'm going to show you another way. All right. So, so right now it'll show me what ad account here that I've got. I've got 3 ad accounts on my Facebook. One's for the Sylvia system, one's personal, and one is my real estate business. So I'm going to use that one. And then it might say that there's something wrong with your image, because that's been happening in Facebook a lot. The boost is fine because, I mean, the post is fine because I posted it, it previewed fine, it's fine. This is not real. Okay, I ignore that. It doesn't know what it's talking about. It's been a problem Facebook for several months for me, and it might be for you. But the boost is, the post is fine. We all saw it. The view is there. It gives you a goal. What do you want your goal to be? And it says automatic. Let Facebook select the most relevant goal. I know what my goal is. My goal is not to get messages. My goal is not to get engagement. My goal is to get more leads, but I don't want to use a form. A lot of you think you got to use a Facebook lead form and like to get leads. You don't. My goal is to get more website visitors. In other words, I want people to click on that link. Okay, so that's what I want. Save. Then it gives you this button to get messages saying, it'll say, message me on the ad. I don't want people to message me on Facebook. I want them to click on that link and register. So I'm going to change it to learn more. Okay. Next, special ad category. You're promoting a property. You're a real estate agent. You're talking about real estate. You've got to choose housing. Otherwise, your ad's probably going to get rejected. And then next for audience. You can change some things about the audience. You can't change the gender. You can't change the age because you have to follow fair housing laws, but you can change some other stuff about the area. So that right now it's giving me longitude, latitude. I'm gonna just choose Newaygo County. Newaygo County. So I'm going to choose the whole county of Newaygo because that's where this property is. And it's going 25 miles. That's interesting. Okay, that's fine. The other version works a little different, but it'll go 25 miles outside the area. Fine, I'm good with that. I can add other locations. Let's say I want to promote this property to people in Chicago because people in Chicago like to buy property in this area. I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you. So Chicago is a totally different state. I'm going to go to Chicago, Illinois. Okay, I'm going to promote it in Chicago, Illinois too. And I'm going to adjust this to go a little outside. So it's getting more area here. Obviously not Lake Michigan, but whatever. Okay, and I think it'll allow me to go up to 50 miles. But this is a great area. I want people in this area to know that I've got this property for sale up here. So I'm going to search that. Now, next, interests. It gives me some suggestions. I like this one, Holiday Cottage. I'll tell you the interests I usually use. I use home improvement and Zillow. So I'm going to choose those. And then I'm going to get rid of mortgage calculator and kitchen and pre-qualification. Well, I guess I could leave pre-qualification. Okay, that's fine. Holiday Cottage, I like that one. But the ones I usually choose are home improvement, Zillow, and house hunting. So I'm going to add that one. House hunting is an interest. I wonder if I can do lake house. Sometimes it just depends. You got to search it and see if that interest pops up as a thing. It doesn't. That's fine. Okay, so these are fine, but typically the ones I use are home improvement, Zillow, and house hunting. It gave me some suggestions, and I'm just gonna go with that. And now I'm gonna save this audience. I'm happy with it. And then I can choose my schedule and duration, like how much money and how much time do I want to throw at this. Now, this is my own listing. Now, typically, if it's, it's just somebody else's listing, or I just want to get a few lists, I'll throw like $5 at it for a day, or $10 at it for 2 days, or something like that, and just get a few. And I'll probably get 11 leads, or even up to 30 leads just by doing that. But this is my own listing, so I'm going to put a little more money at it. I'll just say, okay, 25. Oh, it's saying 35. Okay, fine. It's recommending. That's fine. I don't need to go all the way there. I'll go like just till like August 10th. So I'm going to do it over 4 days. And then it's asking me if I want to add a metapixel. I don't. That is like if I have a Facebook pixel added to my website, which I do, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Just not going to worry about it. And I am going to, I wonder if I say no pixel. Okay, no pixel. I'm going to see no pixel. Then it's going to make sure you're attached to the right payment method. I am, and I'm done. So now I'm going to boost the post. Now it's submitting the ad. And it's going to usually takes a minute. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is if you have the older look of Facebook, I want to show you that. And so I have another page here. They haven't changed it back to the new stuff yet. So, okay. Okay, so this is the old look of your Facebook business page. So most of yours might look like this. And so what you're going to do, instead of posting it right like I showed you on the new page experience, what I like to do is I like to go to publishing tools, if you can find that on the left hand side. And under publishing tools is where you're going to create the post and actually put your post together over here. And then once you've posted it, you'll be able to see the post here and then boost from here. But you're really going to follow the same steps. So I just wanted you to know. All right. Now, that's a quick start. What I want to do right now is I'm going to answer some questions. Oh, Karen, how do you share from your business page to your personal page? So what you got to do is you make sure at the top it shows that it's you, like you're the one sharing. Okay. So for example, if I go back to my Sylvia Dana Realtor page, I need to switch into this to become the realtor on the back end, the admin on the back end. But it's okay because I'm sharing this as myself. So if I want to share it as myself, I make sure it shows that's me. Okay, so here I am. That's me. So there's my little profile page. I know it's going to share as me and not like my own business page. So if I click on share here and share to feed, include original post, it will show the post. And I'm going to say, I have a listing, a land listing in White Cloud, and I'd love for you to check it out, share it, like it. Okay, whatever you want to say here. Okay, I'm saying that to my friends and I'm going to post. Okay, so let me share some resources. If you want to just get kind of opt in from hearing from me, I'll be sending you a link to everything that we offer, and you'll hear from me once in a while about different trainings I'm doing and such. So if you want to hear about that kind of stuff, please follow this link. And you're going to get my DIY guide in your email. And you're also going to get my digital domination training free when you fill out that form. The other thing that you're going to get when you fill out that little form, it'll automatically direct you to this page. And this page is a summary, 15-minute summary of everything that I offer, including my Presto kvCore setup program, along with my coaching program. kvCore Marathon is a really good training, beginning to end, really digging into using kvCore. So if you enjoyed this, you'll really enjoy kvCore Marathon. It's a 5-hour workshop. Magic Wand is a training that I have for virtual assistants only. I teach them how to help you as an agent in your kvCore. Anybody in my Presto coaching program gets this at 50% off. I have a 30-day challenge that you can sign up for. Anybody in my coaching program gets kvCore Marathon and 30-day challenge for free. In addition, anybody in my coaching program also gets all my on-demand training free, but you can buy it separately, my on-demand training bundle. And we also offer WordPress sites and the link to my DIY guide. And let me go through my DIY guide really quick. You'll just fill out this form and it will send it to you. But just by sending that first link I sent you, you'll get everything. The DIY guide is great because it takes you through everything that I offer. So you can click on here. It's going to take you to my website. I have a calendar of events. So if you're ever curious, like what I'm up to, where I'm training, you can always check it out on this calendar. I talk about best uses and features of kvCore, what experienced agents won't tell you about lead generation, how to leverage kvCore on Facebook, how to set up your kvCore from start to finish. It's a masterclass. I might tell you more information than I told you here. A new agent kit for kvCore, 0 to 60 leads in 90 minutes training, etc. So check it all out. This is how to add a lender, everything you should be doing with kvCore every day, blah, 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 blah. You know, how to commingle multiple MLSs if you are an EXP agent. My kvCore strategy calendar, what to do with kvCore every day, every week, every month. More of my training resources, my tools, all that jazz. There it all is. That's what you're going to get when you fill out that first link that that last link I just shared in the chat.